Welcome to my presentation. In this research, I explore the topic Is social anxiety associated with substance abuse among American youth? Social anxiety is a psychological problem that prevents people from living their best lives because they live in fear. Have you ever been in a situation where you wanted to engage in a social activity, say give a public speech, but you had to stay back because you were so anxious or scared? I can testify that most people have lost many opportunities and dreams due to social anxiety. Settlers research states that one strategy individuals use in coping with stress and anxiety is the intake of drugs and alcohol. About 61.2% of adolescents in the US consume drugs and alcohol. In this research, we explore the topics social anxiety, stress, drug consumption, and alcohol consumption among young adults in the US. A question asked was, is stress associated with alcohol and drug consumption? Is there an association between social anxiety and the frequency of smoking among young adults in the US? Is there an association between the fear of social anxiety and the level of alcohol consumption among young adults in the US? The data was obtained from MISAC, a random sample of 43,093 people in the US between the ages of 18 years and above were interviewed face-to-face. In my study, I focused on people between the ages of 18 years and 30 years old. Social phobia was measured in categories. A question asked was, do you fear social situations? The response were yes or no. Alcohol and drug consumption was measured in categories and quantities. A question asked was, how many drinks did you consume in the last 12 months? An ANOVA test was used for the study between social anxiety and the number of drinks consumed. The null hypothesis stated that the mean number of drinks for people who have social anxiety and people who do not have social anxiety is the same. The alternate stated that the mean number of drinks for people who have social anxiety and people who do not have social anxiety is not the same. The second study focused on the association between social anxiety and the frequency of smoking. The box plot shows the number of alcoholic drinks consumed by people who have social anxiety. From the table, people who have social anxiety have a mean number of 2.76 drinks, and people who do not have social anxiety have a mean number of 2.51 drinks. From the diagram, there are many outliers for people who have social anxiety compared to people who do not have social anxiety. After conducting the ANOVA test, the p-value was 0.518. Because the p-value is greater than 0.05, we conclude that the data does not provide enough evidence to state that there is an association. Therefore, we conclude that there is no association between social anxiety and alcohol consumption. The bar plot shows people who have social anxiety by the proportion of frequent smokers. From the table, people who have social anxiety and are frequent smokers is 0.92, whilst people who do not have social anxiety and are frequent smokers is 0.08. After the test of independence, the p-value was 0.758. In conclusion, there is insufficient evidence to state that there is an association. We therefore conclude that there is no association between social anxiety and the frequency of smoking. The diagram shows the association between people who have social anxiety and the proportion of smoking moderated by gender. From the diagram, it can be seen that females smoke more frequently and moderately compared to males. Although the results of the study states that there is no association, research by Settler, Dow, and McDavid shows that Most young adults tend to engage in substance consumption to curb their anxiety or stress. From the study, females tend to smoke more compared to males. It is therefore necessary for young adults to desist from taking in alcohol or drugs to curb their anxieties or stress. Young adults need all the love and support from families. They should be encouraged to speak up and engage more frequently in social activities. They can also watch movies or exercise to curb their anxieties and nervousness. There is the need for further research to discover measures in which young adults can cope with stress and anxieties instead of using drugs and alcohol. Social anxiety is a psychological problem which continues to harm individuals. There is no determined cause or prevention. Therefore, the study should be taken with a priority. Thank you very much for staying through the presentation. These are the references. Have a good day.